Welcome back as Leeds United have beaten Everton 1-0. Craig, how we doing?
Buzzing, mate. Absolutely buzzing. We're back. We're back.
Yeah, do you know what? It's the first time as well a championship holder has won on their opening game in 17 years. So I don't care how you get it. I don't care if it was or wasn't a penalty, which again, some people are saying it is a penalty, others are saying it's not a penalty. Craig, let's have that discussion. Do you think it was a penalty, yes or no?
Yes.
And reasonings by it.
100%. He had his arm like this, and the ball was going past him. He leaned towards it there was daylight between his arm and his body, and then he tucks it under after it's hit the ball. If the thing for me is, right, you're gonna have people that debate it whether it is or isn't a penalty, right? But if that were the other way, and that were in the Leeds box by a Leeds player, Everton would be screaming that it were a penalty. So just take it on the chin. These things even themselves out over the season. Even I know people don't believe in VAR getting the decisions right, but it got given on was it last time we were in the Premier League? We got a decision. I can't remember if it was the first game or one of the first games. We had penalty decisions that the ball bounced up off his knee to his hand, and
Robin Koch against
yeah,
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things go against you, and that weren't a penalty, but this were. So
I'd say the way I'm trying to think of this from a non-biased point of view right now. If it was the other way around, so if it happened to us, I'd be disappointed if it was a penalty. But obviously, such fantastic game, which we'll get onto shortly. His shot out, whether or not it was going in or not, the defender put his arm to his side, behind his back, however you want to look at it, but he leaned towards the ball and it hit his arm. It didn't hit his chest, which what some people are saying. So for me, even if it's dubious, it's still a penalty. It was given, VAR gave it. Yeah, I mean, Metcha steps up. Were you happy that Metcha was there, or would you? I say, would you want someone else? It doesn't really matter now, does it? I mean, he scores on his debut with his third touch.
yeah, it's anybody like whoever takes penalty, as long as as long as you get it on target and you put it in the back of the net, I don't mind whoever takes them. Or kind of hoping it'd be Harrison that had took it, so that just to rub salt in the wound. But yeah, it's.
I mean, I think had he had stepped up, I probably wouldn't have even watched the penalty. I think I would have been that much more nervous. I think again, I was thinking, oh God, don't be Pascal, and I know Pascal can take penalties, but he's also missed some. It's good to have somebody on his debut who is a striker take it. Obviously, Peroni, penalty taker, was taken off, but yeah, it was only his third touch on his professional debut. Obviously, friendlies and all that don't really count, but good penalty.
Yeah. I mean, Pickford went the right way and it was right in the corner. But at first, I thought, oh no, he might have got to that, but it's not. It's more comfortable when they send the keeper the wrong way. And but yeah, good penalty right in the corner, power. So yeah.
What about the debutants though, Stach and Goodmanson? How obviously we'll touch more on when we get to player ratings, but how good was that left-hand side, especially in that first half? Just the fact that we absolutely dominated their lovely little link-up play, just those three.
Yeah, but this is
interchanging with each other.
I'm not going to agree with you though, mate.
What?
Because Stack and Goodmanson, yes. But I will never, ever, in a million years, agree with you saying that I'm not going to include Nonto in that trio.
But he was doing good link-up play. You have to admit that, though.
Where?
The concept, like the 1-2s and the link-up and the passing.
No, he did good in defence. He did some good defence. Mate, did you see his stats? I'll send you his stats for that first half. Successful dribbles, 0. Successful passes, yeah, he got 21 21 out of 24, 25 or something. Successful dribbles, take-ons, 0. His crossing, 0. He gets the ball, stops, slows play down, and then just passes it back. And he lost it a couple of times. Like he got tackled, it went out for a throw in. It just frustrates me so much. Like if as soon as he were further back, and it were Goodmanson and Stack on that left hand side further forward, we've moved forward.
I generally just think though the way that we were on that left hand side, especially in the first half, the link up between them three, whether or not you like Nonto or not, I know your feelings towards him, and I know my feelings towards him. I'm not a fan of him as such,
Yeah.
but I thought that they were linking up really, really well. Regardless of whether or not the end product was good, it was the link up in between, the build up to it, I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah, it were all right, but they're the simple things that you should be doing. But I thought more Stack and Goodmanson made more of an impact on that side.
That's fair enough. I mean, set pieces. Obviously, you and me have claimed Land of the Giants since all of these players were coming in.
Yeah,
We've got a long throw taker now.
I know. Where did that come from? Ampadu.
I mean, it's something different in our arsenal that we can do. I think, for me, I think the set pieces were a little bit naff, considering with the height that we've got. And I understand that they've got tall players as well, so you have to use it in certain games and stuff. What did you make of them?
Set pieces. At first, I was like, I said this in pre-season, that why have we got Stack, the tallest player in the team, taking corners, but he it took a few, didn't he? That they weren't great corners by all standards, but then what I did like is that I think he knew that, and then and he called Goodmanson to come over and take a corner, so that he could be in the box, and I was like, yes, this is what I like, and he actually delivered a pretty good ball across, and yeah, and then I think this is going to be a new thing. Ampadu taking them long throw-ins. Once we've got that, everybody back in the team like Biol, Stark, if Bornau comes in, I think that's going to be a feature of the game, that you get a throw-in up there and hope that we can win an header or a flick on.
Or, I mean, we almost had a flick on right at the last minute with Tanaka when it dropped to him, and obviously he skied it in the second half.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's touch upon the first half, mate. How did you feel about the first half? Obviously, absolutely dominated it, didn't we?
Yeah, it reminded me. You remember, like, not quite the Man U pre-season friendly where we just tore them to bits. But this were on another level. Like I think I said to you, that it's one of them. You couldn't tell which was the newly promoted side. You'd have thought if that were a neutral watching, you'd have thought, is it Everton that have just been promoted? Because we just absolutely tore them to bits. If we had more in that final third, and this is where my frustration comes in with Nonto, that he's not quite good enough. He's good. I'm not saying he's a bad player, because he's not. He's a good player, but he's not quite the level that we need. If we're going to go and climb up this league and stay in this division, he's not that level that we need. Like if we're going to make that next step, we need better, and that's where Okafor, hopefully, he'll sign, and that'll provide that for us. And I know that people might say that I don't know what I'm talking about with Nonto, but I do. Okafor is a level 2-3 levels above. You'll get something different. He's more direct. Nonto's not a direct player. He is when there's space in front of him. In tight situations, he's not. And that's my problem.
We'll touch upon him at the end a little bit on touch him at the end. But obviously, first half, 12 shots on target. We had about 62% possession. I mean, in the 16th minute alone, we had 22 successful passes into the final third. Yes, our finishing wasn't that great. Obviously, Perro from a close angle, and then when he turned and shot, it was deflected. I mean, Tanaka over the bar again. Statch had a shot. I felt in the first half in particular, we were absolutely sensational. Like, you could not fault it. maybe the finishing aspect of it. We could have been 1-0 up, but as a whole, the performances was great. Second half, obviously, it dipped a little bit. Like they came into it a bit more. But how, like, were you? Obviously, you and me always talk about were you concerned? Were you ever concerned in that second half? Like maybe when Grealish came on, or
No, I was concerned about when we started letting them come back onto us because we didn't. Because for me in the first half, all that possession and domination that we were just driving forward, but we didn't create much. As in, like your wingers like Dan James and Nonto they weren't getting as much of the ball as what they normally would. Like if it was like last season in the Championship, so everything was like coming through more in the middle. When the ball did come across, there was no one like there. So I don't think the wingers got into the game as much, which also show on the on the stats. That they didn't play it as much, but in the second half, yeah, it looked like we just took the foot off the gas. And when you talk about being concerned, do you remember last season we did it a lot? Second half, we'd take the foot off the gas. So I'm used to it now that right, this is Farker just giving the play. They put that much effort into the first half. It's like they're having a little bit of a breather and just soaking up a bit of pressure. And I thought, right, either this is gonna be concerning that they bring Grealish on and he could, he's like at getting fouls. Like he'll draw players in to get a foul. That's what we could do with someone like that. And I just thought, well, as long as we can keep him a bit quiet, I don't think there's anything else to be concerned about because on the breakaway we've got Dan James, we've got players with pace, we've got players with like Stack that just drives forward with it seems to take 2 strides and he's already in the opposition half.
I mean,
yeah,
but look who kept Grealish quiet to an extent. Aronson. When he came over, when he doubled up, I don't care what you think. he did. He did a job on him. He pushed him to the side. He made a couple of tackles on him. So again, I'm not saying that he's at that level because look, I had to get something good in about Aronson, all right, because well, it's Aronson in it, but I mean, yeah, obviously Amps went off, well, a little bit injured. I've not seen anything yet on it. Obviously, we're recording straight after the match. Nasty tackle, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a bit of a horrible challenge, wasn't it? Yeah, hopefully he'll be all right. I think he's a tough kid in Ampadu, and I think it was just precautionary they brought him off.
Yeah, he seemed to be moving gingerly afterwards, but he then got on with it a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully it was just precaution. Let's discuss player ratings then. Obviously, Perry, who I'm just going to say it straight away. Why did we not get any long throws or that pick it up and volleyball punch? I was so disappointed. I think it was the 28th minute when he picked it up and he kicked the ball out. I'm like, I was hoping he'd punch it. That's all I wanted to see.
Yeah, I think it might be. I think it might just be when more opportunities present itself to happen. I think Farkas probably told him to, to rein that in a little bit in the Premier League just until we get established.
All I wanted to see today was that, or even a long throw, because we didn't even get a long throw, and I thought his distribution, a majority of the time, was either straight to them or right towards went off for a throw in from either our player or their players. I mean,
Yeah, long. Basically, his short passing distribution weren't bad. His long passing though needs some work, a lot of work. He's better off He's probably better off using his hands. I can see why he does.
Good in the again. Well, this is what I was talking about beforehand. I was speaking to someone who watches French football a lot, like week in week out, and he was saying that he's not great with his foot. And the same was speaking to a Lille fan after we'd done a podcast on him, saying that again, great with his hands, brilliant with all of that. It's his footwork that lets him down, and you can see that today. But again, great in the air. He caught the ball. again, normal keeper stuff, which what you want to do, unlike said Melier. Good save in the bottom corner when Matey turned whoever it was and then shot down the bottom, some from his height to get down. What did you make of his performance overall as a whole?
Overall, good. He's a safe pair of hands, isn't he? He's like, I didn't worry. You know, like normally you'd watch that full 90 minutes and you'd be worried at any time they were near that 18-yard box that if Melier is going to make a mistake. Never got worried with Perry. He like an assured performance basically. Every time ball come over, it's like he's just confident he's going to win it. It just comes out like you never saw Melier come out to his penalty spot to claim a ball, did you? Very often, and
Rarely, no.
yeah, and Perry just come out and just jumped up, grabbed ball. I thought he was going to throw it and send Dan James on his way, and then I think he ended up just did he end up just kicking it? I think he ended up kicking it, and then it kind of went that way, but went out of play. But yeah,
Good punch on him though.
yeah. He's like I say, safe pair of hands. I were not worried with him at all.
What are you going to rate him out of 10?
Probably say, I'd say a solid 7.
Yeah, I mean, clean sheet, debut. I'll be a bit generous and give him a 7.5.
Yeah, well, like I say, solid 7 because they didn't have that. A Premier League team, by the way, didn't have that many shots against him. You know,
You can see, again, this is what we were talking about, what Everton need. They need a striker that can actually do it. Obviously, I thought Drewsbury Hall, we kept him very quiet in that mid. R3, which we will touch upon. Bogle on our right-hand side, I thought kept them very, very quiet. Goodmanson as well was just fantastic. But let's touch upon Bogle first. What would you rate him?
Bogle, again a solid 7. I think that he started the game so well, but then got quieter towards the end of the second half. So yeah, solid 7 for him.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Didn't put a foot wrong. Couple tackles again. Again, I say nothing to write home about in terms of the fact that it wasn't a him and James kind of game in that sense. Whereas when they link up well,
yeah,
it's excellent. I think it was more we were playing with Goodmanson and Statch and Nonto, whether or not you agree with that or not. We were more down the left hand side.
Well, we did play down the left hand side a lot more. That's why, like I said to you earlier, James has not really had much of the ball. When you said that he's a bit quiet, and I said yeah, but he's not had much of the ball, and it seems to not. Like I think, in a way, I see why like Bogle dropped off in the second half because he's just come back from injury. Don't forget, and you know he's put a real good shift in the first half. So yeah, probably 7.5 in the first half, and then dropped to a 7 in the second half. I'd say defensively sound.
Yeah, I agree. Rodon and Strout. Then, do you think they were both similar, or did one higher than the other? Would you say?
I'd probably say similar. I can't remember any part of the match where one stood out over the other. I think they both did the right things at the right time. Like maybe I don't know. I know. Like I've looked on the like on FOTMob, they've given different, but I think
only 0.1 now.
Yeah, in the first half it was a bigger difference. Rodon come on more in the second half, so I think basically the same.
Yeah, I was thinking 7. I think Rodon did decent in the air, especially near the end of the first half. Second half. Got his foot in, and he got fouled. Thought he was a bit more commanding in that sense, but again, I still say they were similar. He didn't really have anything to do because they were so tight to their markers that they just didn't let them have a chance.
I don't think there were anything stand out about both of them. Not that they didn't do well, it's that they didn't stand out as in nobody did anything spectacular that, really stood out in the game. They did the job and they did it well, as they always do. Yeah, sevens. I'll go for a seven.
Let's go on to what a debut. I'm going to go to Goodman. How good was he?
Very, very good. I mean, Junior.
Mate, honestly, joint. I'm going to do a little bit of stats like I always do. I'm doing this off who's scored. So if it's wrong, it's who scored that's done it. 3 shots overall, which had the most in the first half. Joint second. Passing again, 83%. 39 out of 47 passes. 2 key passes. He had 5.4% possession. 4 dribbles. He attempted 5. 2 aerials, 1 tackle as well. Again, like I said, his link-up play with, I will still say it was with both of them. Like his passing, his interchanging, overlaps. I thought he was absolutely sensational.
It was brilliant. And if you've got any doubts about losing what Firpo gave you with that, that attacking presence, Goodmanson's, he's going to be good.
I don't think he's not as attacking as what Firpo would be, because Firpo would be right on a byline, crossing it in or going for shots. Again, I know Goodmanson had shots. He had 4 shots, 4 shots. I thought he was, 4 shots or 3? 3 shots, sorry. But he was still fantastic in getting forward as much as he did. I think if he said, like I said, had an Okafor with him, I think that would be a lot better partnership, possibly. But he's definitely up there with one of my man of the matches.
Yeah, I'd put him up there with one of them, but not my man of the match.
No. What would you rate him?
Should I give him? I don't know. It's
7.5
or an 8. Probably an 8. I think I'm going to go for an 8.
So you cannot go any lower than an 8.
7.5 is not bad,
No, it's not. But I thought he was absolutely sensational.
It was, but there were someone better for me. Like a lot better, not just a little bit better. It was another level better.
I still don't. I'm still thinking. I think 8 or 8.5, but I will go 8, but a very high end 8. Not again. I know there's somebody listening that doesn't like that, but still, we're going to go for an 8. Let's go Tanaka next. People said that he couldn't step up. People were doubting it and stuff like that. Talk me through it, mate. What did you make of him today?
He just gives you everything, doesn't he? Whether he's not, whether he needs to grow into the Premier League, some people might think that he needs to, get, a little bit better, a bit sharper, which will come with games. But the amount of energy and the aggression and everything that he gives you, he just leaves everything on the pitch. Even to that last minute before he came off, where he's just throwing himself about to get on the end of balls and break up attacks. He's immense. I love him.
Mate, it was the lovely 40. I think it was the 49th minute. He closed down the ball on it off their centre mid. I can't remember which one it was now. I think Gian. I can't remember, Indiana maybe, and then just lays it off to Nonto. That was brilliant. But the best part in the later on when he had the ball and he just shimmies it, knocks over their player, and just carries on. I'm like, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
He's
a classy player. He's a very, very classy player.
He's phenomenal. Like what he does. I mean, 91% pass possession, 41 out of 44, I believe it was. And you can see it regardless of whether or not it's short passes or forward passes. He's always looking for that move and the next step. And that's just what makes him just Tanaka.
His reading of the game is fantastic. It's unreal. But yeah, the way that he just cuts balls out, and yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's another thing. He cut that ball out, didn't he? Played Nonto through, and yeah, we know what happened after that. So,
what would you rate him then?
See, I'd want to give him an 8 as well, just for his performance.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, again, he was that good, and all the midfield three were brilliant,
Yeah,
but 8 for him. Right, Ampadu again sits nicely in that defensive midfield role, drops back into to make a defensive three when Goodmanson and Bogle are pushing forward. Just captain, mate. Just
you can see why.
I can't really sum it up. Just how good he was.
You can see why Farker's got him as captain and he's left him as captain this season. And I think this suits him a lot better, sitting in that position, just as a sitting midfielder rather than and you've got the two in front of him. It just suits him a lot better, I think. And yeah, just it was a captain's performance tonight, really, from him. That's what I'd say about it.
Yeah,
It was a captain's performance.
8. I'm giving him an 8. To be fair, I know what you said a few weeks back. They're not guaranteed starters, and obviously, when we bring in players, it will elevate their level to be better. And I don't know whether or not the clip that I put up on socials was taken a little bit out of context on that. But I think when you've got Statch with you, who is just phenomenal, his presence, his height, just how good he is, you're gonna have to step up. You're in the Premier League, for goodness sake. You can't just be playing good Championship football. You've got to be playing at your peak week in, week out. There'll be games when they are having shockers, and then Gruev or Longstaff comes off the bench, or if we get another number 10 or another midfield, maybe, who knows what's going to happen. It will elevate their level, and I think those three in mid complement each other so well.
They do, and the more they play together, the more it'll come along. But yeah, I think like in the Championship though, if you make mistakes, you can get away with it sometimes.
Sometimes.
That's what I mean. Sometimes you can get away with it. In Premier League, you can't. It's very rare
No.
you'll get away with a mistake, and that's where the step up comes. That you've got to be on it every week. And I mean, if you play at that level, week in week out in the Championship, you're obliterating that league. But you don't, because you're not playing against players that are at that level, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
but the fact that these guys can just step up and compete, and like I say, Ampadu and Tanaka, and I mean Stack's just another talking point in it. But Ampadu and Tanaka, the fact that they can just step up into this division and play like they've played there for years is a good thing for us.
Go on then, talk me through Anton Statch, mate.
Anton Stack, my man of the match, definitely. He's just a bit, for me so far. He's probably going to be the best signing that we've done over the summer. Yeah, people might say, "Well, we missed out on this player, we missed out on that player," and we spend 17 million on a defender, on a midfielder that nobody's heard of. It's like, well, yeah, it was one of the best midfielders 2 years running in Germany, and you can see why today. He just makes everything. He's in the Premier League, for God's sake. It's his first Premier League game, and he just made it look so easy. Like the winning the balls, like trying to get the ball off him, it's a pain. They couldn't do it. He bossed that midfield. He ran the show for me, and yeah, he even could have got a goal.
Mate, honestly, don't, because he's in my fantasy football, and I just think he was so good. He got the most amount of touches out of anybody on that pitch. That's including the centre backs, which we know last season, if you're gonna get most touches, you had to do something special to take it off them too, which Tanaka did like a couple times. But 86 touches, most out of anybody. Tchaikovsky was 84, so only just there. But he tackled as well. So not only does he have presence in the air, he has presence on the ball as well, closing down. Like you said, He could have scored. He got the penalty. He won as the penalty with his shot. Just
He's a good.
wow.
He's amazing all around. He tackles. He can create. He gets in those places where he can create chances. He drives forward. He can shoot. Dare I say it? He reminds me of a certain player that played for Liverpool that not quite there yet, but it reminds me of that type of player that does everything you want a midfielder to do. And like I say, man of the match for me, it was just fantastic. He were everywhere.
Yeah, dare I say 9?
I'd go for a 9.
Yeah, 9, man of the match, Anton Stach, sorted. Right, let's quickly run through the front 3 then. James, just...
I'd say James 6.5 today. It weren't in the game.
It wasn't his day.
Yeah, it weren't his day. He didn't really get much.
Couple shots which were blocked, but again, like you said, it wasn't his game kind of thing.
He got took out, which I can't believe they didn't get a foul for. But he got took out, and yeah, it just like I say, it weren't one of Dan James' best games. Whether that's because he's not played much in pre-season, he's not got as much minutes as he'd have liked. He's probably still finding his feet, but yeah, hopefully that's all it is.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's hear it on Nonto then, mate, because we obviously disagree on this one.
I'd probably give him. See, now I'm rocking an hard place because I'll give him like Bogle a 7. I can't get on to a 7. I'll just give him a 7 because I can't give him 6.5 because it was slightly better than what James were.
Mate, he got the most tackles in the game. Like when he lost the ball, he did try and win it back. He was defending from the front. Regardless whether or not you like
tackles
him or
in
not,
the game.
Yeah.
Over everyone.
Yes, with 4.
Over
this is on whoscored.com, which I use on here. Nonto 4 tackles, Ampadu 3, Tim
more than Tanaka, more than Stat.
Statch got 2, Ampadu got 3. According to Who Scored, Tanaka didn't make a tackle.
That's right. What do the class of the tackle? Because
I get it. Yeah, I know. I understand it is from Who Scored, but I thought on the eye as well. I generally thought he won the ball from the front when he lost the ball. Which yes, he did lose the ball a bit. I did think that he was influential in that game. Was his best game? No, but it certainly wasn't his worst game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying it was his worst game ever. I'm saying he's not what we need in the Premier League.
No. We do.
And unless he turns it on to what he can do, what he should do, we've seen it from him, and that's why it frustrates me. And that's why I knock him, because we've seen it. He can be direct. He can go for it, but for some reason he gets the ball and stops. And sometimes he's a little bit too greedy for me, where there's other players in better positions. But anyway, I'll give him a 7.
I'll go 7 as well. I did think 7.5, but 7. Hero next. Obviously, mixed feelings online from what I'm seeing. Again, let me know in the comments, guys, your player ratings, if you agree with us or not. It's just our opinions. Hero, I thought, was, especially in the first half, his hold-up play, the way he linked up play. Again, I know it's when he has the ball, he's passing it to his side or laying it back, and not everyone likes that kind of style when it comes to Pirro. I thought he had a decent first half in particular. What did you make of him?
Yeah, it's the first half he was good, and I think either I don't know whether it took it out of him, and in the second half he dropped off, or he just got bullied out of it by the Premier League defenders, and but he even in the Championship he tends to do that sometimes.
He does.
If things weren't going his way, he went quiet. And like I said to you before, the thing about Pro is he's a good finisher. Nobody can deny about his finishing ability. And I said to you, for Pro to work in the Premier League, you need the creativity behind him. So you need
Yeah.
either that player that comes in. I know we're not going to probably play with number 10 now because it looks like it's a 4-1-4-1 type of situation, but you need that creativity from somewhere along that line behind him, to feed the ball into him and him just be a poacher, just being in and around that 18-yard box. If that ball comes to him, it will finish. I know he had a couple of chances today that on another day that they're going in.
Yeah.
I've seen him put them away before.
Especially that one that he had in the first 4 minutes when he shot turned. I don't know whether or not he was expecting it or not, but it was like a quick. He had no other option but to shoot. Pickford made a decent save, and
Yeah.
then there was another one when he turned, ran at the defender a little bit, and then he had to shoot. He had no other option but to shoot at that moment.
It was more the one. He's on his own in the box, and
Yeah.
he kind of snatched it, but it puts them away normally. On another day, that goes in, and we saw it last season where he went through a spell of games where nothing was going right, but then he pops up and scores 4 in the first half. You
Yeah.
never know with him, but like I said, for him to work in the Premier League, because he's not got the pace, he's not got the power to bully players. He has, but he just doesn't use it. I think it's inside him, but he just doesn't use it. And yeah, he kind of looks like a lazy player, doesn't he? At times, but
At
yeah,
times, yeah.
and it's like, but his finishing ability is up there, so he just needs that creativity, and I think that's how it'll work for him. But I think for the Premier League, you need some like we saw last season. You probably need your players like Metcher or Calvert-Lewin to be bullying the defenders, tire them out, and then Perot comes on last 20 minutes, he grabs you a goal. But the
I
other way
thought it
around
worked
today.
well. I thought it worked well today, which we'll touch upon when we talk about Matcha.
Yeah,
Pirro, though, what did you rate him?
I'd probably give him a 6.5 because if it were just on his first half performance, I'd be giving him a 7.5. I'd be giving 7.5. But I think in that he did go really quiet in that second half, and I think that's probably what's dragged it down a bit.
He did some good pressing in the second half. I'm going to give him a 7.
I mean, I'll agree with you then. I'll go to a 7. I'll not be
Right,
too harsh.
let's quickly run through the subs before we wrap this up. Aronson, mate, came off the bench.
Ran around.
What did you make of? Was it Aronson first?
Aronson ran around. Did his shimmy. His obligatory shimmy that he does.
100% pass rating.
Well, this
He
is
only made 5
why.
passes out. He only made 5 passes out of 5.
Yeah, this is why I like to do the eye test rather than stats because
I like doing both,
but,
mate, just to wind you up.
Stats make some players look better than what they are.
I'm just winding you up when it comes to Aronson, mate. But honestly, though, what would you rate him seriously? Because we are a very serious podcast here.
6.5.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be serious. Yeah, 6.5. I was going to say 6, no chance.
I feel like
6.5,
I need the the cards for gymnastics or for diving, swimming to do to rate Aronson with because he's more theatrical than he is a footballer.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to give 6.5 as well. Right. Gruev and Harrison next. What would you rate them both?
Gruev does what he normally does, doesn't he? Just comes on, does his job, tidy.
Solid.
Yeah. I don't think it's out of his depth either. For what he needs to do. If he's going to come on for the last 10, 15 minutes, I'm happy. I think he can do it. Harrison,
6.5 for
6.5 for Gruev.
Right. Let's get on to Jackie.
I'm going to give. I tell you what, I'm going to give Harrison a 7.
Yes.
He crossed the ball that led to a couple of chances. To be fair, and
Tanaka's chance.
Yeah, and do you know what? I don't know about you, but I had shades of when I saw when I saw him on the left-hand side whipping that ball in, I was like, oh, it's like Bielsa all over again. It's like that Bielsa era, just where he just whipped that ball across, and I was just like, yes, come on, somebody's got to get it on the end of it. Meche actually nearly got on the end of it.
Yeah.
And,
Tanaka got. I think it was Tanaka that got onto one.
yeah, he got.
I think it was Harrison's one.
Yeah, he got onto one, but the ball he just whipped across, and Meche nearly got onto it, and they're the crosses that I missed from him. That's one thing he does do well.
You got to think with Harrison, he's not a bad player. He's an underrated player to an extent, but I think that what we have to realise is what he did when he left on loan. That was in his clause and stuff, so we had to go on loan. His mum was a pain in the ass, put it that way, for what she'd done on social media. But jury's still out with him. But there is a player there with him, and I think if we can utilise it, if we're keeping him, obviously we are linked with another winger, which you have already touched upon. If he does come, it's one of those things that will Harrison go or will Ramazani goes. By the looks of it, Ramazani's down in the pecking order, and Harrison's that third, fourth choice. I thought he did all right, and you could see that he did want it. He wanted to put in the effort, that's all we ask as Leeds fans.
Yeah, like I say, under Bielsa, he were a mainstay on that side. That's no. What you got to remember is that is not easy to do with Bielsa. You had to earn your place.
Yeah.
He were a mainstay under Bielsa, and every manager likes the work. You can't doubt his work. Forget about all the stuff that's gone on. Harrison's work rate is unbelievable, and when he's on it, he does go through spells where he misses a bit of form, but when he's on it, his first touch is as good as anyone else's, right? And it just Farker likes a redemption arc for some reason. I think Farker just sees a player that's had a bad time and goes, "I'm gonna put my arm around you, and you just follow what I say, and you'll go places." And I think it'll turn him into a really, really good asset this season. He's not going to set the world on fire. He's not going to set the Premier League on fire, but I don't think he'll ever be first choice. If we get Okafor, I don't think he'll be first choice. But I think he can. What I think Farker likes about him is above Ramazani and above other players is that he'll give you the defensive work. He'll put the effort in, and that's what Farker wants. I think he just 100% puts a shift in, as Farker says.
Yeah. 7?
Yeah.
7-5?
I don't think you're long enough to do 7-5, but yeah. So he did very well. Do you know what? This is, and I don't mean to say it sound bias, but I thought he did better in the short time he were on, or made a bigger impact than what Nonto did.
He was more direct
And that,
in terms of picking up the ball, pushing forward with those crosses. Yes, you could see it in that sense. Yes.
Yeah, and that's where I think that it won't be long if that carries on that he goes above Nonto.
And we are now looking for a new co-host. So if you are interested, please apply via the Instagram.
I'm not saying I want it. I'm saying in Farker's mind, you can see where that goes up.
I am joking, but yes, I know where you're coming from, mate. Right, Mecha. The only thing that I'm going to do a negative first is when a ball was played out from the defence or keeper, I can't remember which, he tried to turn the player, but he didn't even have the ball. The ball wasn't really near him. And he's just turning in the anticipation of it to come near him. And the way the ball was, it went straight to that defender or midfielder. And if he stayed there, he could have held the ball up. That's my only negative when it comes to him. So I'm going to leave that. Craig, let's see your thoughts on him.
Well, the first thing I was going to say, I was like, the negative I'd say is, I remember he did like was it Tanaka? He did like a 1-2. I think he got it passed to him, but then he played it back. But it was a bad pass back, which then Tanaka had to play it back to him. and then he took it into the box, and it was kind of a lazy shot then. And I was like, oh, it's a bit of a lame shot. You had a good opportunity there. Yeah, but then after that, like I say, with Harrison's cross, I keep wanting to say Aronson. With Harrison's cross, nearly got on the end of that one, but then when he stepped up to take the penalty, I was like, you know, just put this away, please. And yeah, he did.
Cool, calm, and
Yeah.
collect.
But I mean, he's been there and he's been around the, top level of football in Germany. He's used to them situations, playing at Dortmund, playing at Munich, high pressure situations. So yeah, it was good overall.
Yeah, the other thing as well, right near the end as well, when he had the ball, good touch. He thought he'd lost the ball, and then all of a sudden he's got it, and then he's going towards the corner flag. I thought that was sensational.
Yeah,
I like that word.
experience, isn't it? His experience, and he's strong. What I like about him, he's strong.
Yeah.
And that's what Perot doesn't give in. I wish he did.
7.5, got the winner, got us the 3 points.
I'll go with that, yeah.
Absolutely marvellous. Longstaff came on, but again, not on long enough to really rate, in my opinion. But yeah, that's the player ratings. If you agree with us or disagree with us, let us know in the comment section below. And if you're not following, subscribing wherever you're listening to or watching us, please do, because it helps us out a lot. You've already mentioned on it. Daniel Farker has literally not long come out and said that you need players to be clinical. Dominic will be important for us, but that was a first step. We are still in the market for more offensive options. We are ready to compete in these 3 games, but not for the whole season yet. So it does look like there is more attacking options coming through the door. Reading through that, obviously, you've mentioned him, so let's just. I just want Okafor.
Yeah.
I just want him now.
We need him. We need someone like that that's a bit more direct and that'll commit defenders, because
Good at one-on-ones as well.
that's what I'm
Really
saying.
good tackles.
He's not scared to try and get past someone, and I think that he's the type of player that if he don't succeed, he'll keep trying until he does, and
Yeah.
it can be unpredictable at times, and that's what you want. And I think that with the players that we've got in the team, if we can win free kicks, if it doesn't end up with an end product, as long as if we can win free kicks in and around that box, I think we'll be all right.
But different people are saying different things. £13 million or 20 million euros. Either one I'm happy with. I said between 10 and 20 million euros, that is, or just over, would be a decent.
I think this 13 million's upfront fee in it.
Yeah.
So I think it might be closer to say like £17 million, but the 13 million. But that's what I'm saying. I think it's a 13 million up front and then add-ons. That's what it'll be, because I think didn't they turn 15 million down?
Yeah.
Or 12? No,
12. I'm not sure.
I think they turned 12 down, but it's so it'll be 13 million with add-ons is what I'm guessing at. So it's still a bargain.
Yeah. I won't touch upon him too much, because if it does happen, and we can talk about it more in depth and detail and what it can bring to us and all of this. Craig, is there anything else you'd like to add before we end this?
Bring on Arsenal.
3 points. Let's go. Guys, thank you all for listening as always, and we'll see you after the Arsenal games. Leeds.